Good evening, everyone. My name is Daniel Beatty, and thanks for joining this webinar called Oh Caption My Caption, where for the next 15 minutes we'll be looking at how to add closed captioning to video files for e-learning projects using the free service of YouTube and the e-learning program Storyline 360. I wanted to talk about what we're going to be doing over these next 15 minutes. So first, we're going to discuss reasons why we feel closed captioning in videos is important to the e-learning industry. And then we're also going to watch myself go through a demonstration on how to add closed captioning to a video using the e-learning program Storyline 360. Then we're going to try to apply what we just saw and do our own video and closed captioning. And then we're going to open up the forum for general discussion around closed captioning and ways that maybe you could be using it in your industry or already are. Before I get going, I am just curious if you guys wouldn't mind answering the first poll question for me, which is, have you used Storyline 360 before today? Okay, so one of you has and two of you haven't, so thank you for that. No worries, it is a straightforward program. And the second question is, my experience working with closed captioning for videos is, have you done it before, maybe just once or twice? Is it something you've done from time to time, or is it something you're doing all the time, either because you feel it's important or because you have to? Okay, great. Thank you for that. So one person's used it once or twice before, and the other two people have used it all the time. Awesome. Okay, so next what we want to do is discuss a little bit about closed captioning. Before we get started, just want to get you guys to open up Storyline 360 now if you can, and also make sure that that video is downloaded. So why is closed captioning important? First of all, accessibility reasons. I feel like it's important for us to make sure that regardless of your learning abilities, that if the tools are available for you to add to your learning experience and they're not difficult to add, they should be added. And depending on the industry that you work in, you might have this mandated upon you using something called Section 508 compliance, which essentially means that if you're in an educational or government industry, you should be adding accessibility features like alternate text and things like closed captioning to your online publicated learnings. So that's kind of a mandated reason, but if you're in an industry like me where it's not necessarily required, you may just feel like you want to be adding it because you appreciate additional people's learning styles. Maybe the information you're conveying in a video is super technical, and it's nice to have that text there to make sure what you're saying they're understanding properly. Maybe they're just somebody who likes having the text while they go along, similar to how some people like to read while they're listening to an audiobook. And then personally, I'm in an industry that's a very noisy environment for the people I'm trying to train. So just having that closed captioning there is a good idea for that reason, just to make sure that our information is being digested properly, really. So there's other reasons I know, and we're going to get to that in the discussion. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to Articulate Storyline 360 and show you guys just how easy that is to do it yourself. So my screen should now be on Storyline 360. Even if you've never seen Storyline 360 before, you'll notice that this user interface is very similar to PowerPoint. And what we've got here are slides. And what I've done is I've added a video to a slide. And if I wanted to play this slide back in my e-learning program to see what the learner would see when they're using it, what I've got is a video here that has audio, but there's really nothing going on for seeing any text here. And that's because there's no file loaded yet. I can interact with the video, but that's about it. So I want to add that file. And how I'm going to do that is by using YouTube. So I take this video file and I go to the web, go to YouTube. Here it is right here. And what I've got is I want to upload a new video. We'll do it from this screen. Pretty straightforward. You just find the video where it lives in your computer. In my case, I've got it under this project here we're working on. It's called Fruitcake Cookies. And those of you in a previous class of mine might have noticed this video already. So while this is uploading, there's some things to keep in mind. First of all, I don't like these things going live as soon as they're available when I'm still working on them. And if I choose private, that's completely okay. It has no effect on YouTube adding its auto transcribing. So that's what I like to do, although it's personal preference. You want to make sure your original language is English, or at least matches the original language of the video. But all of these settings by default are going to be fine for doing this. And while this is done and processing, you're going to be able to now go to your video manager and see this file. And YouTube needs a little bit of time to process it and then give you the abilities to edit it. And we don't have the luxury of time right now. So similar to keeping with this theme, I'm just going to show you a pre-baked version of that, so to speak. And what you would have here is after it's done uploading, you would be able to go to subtitles and closed captioning. And what you have is you have the ability to add new subtitles or get the automatically generated ones. And that's exactly what we want to do. And what you'll notice here is YouTube has a nice interface where along this column you have the transcripted audio as well as where it comes up in the video. And this is the file we need. We could make edits to this. In fact, because it's just automatically done, it's not going to get things like capitalization or when sentences change and stuff like that. So I'm going to go to edit and I'm going to add in those features. And if I had more time, I might do that for my entire video, but I'm going to just pick a couple seconds of it. I'm going to do publish those edits.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Are you demonstrating how to do that?
Yeah, basically, all you have.
I'm sorry, I'm just like, on my screen, it doesn't change anything. So is that normal?
On your screen, are you trying to do the example right now?
No, I'm just watching you. I'm on my
The
screen.
screen just says select files to upload on
we
YouTube.
can't
Your
see
Zoom
your
is not targeted.
Oh, thank you for telling me. Okay, well, I've been sharing the wrong window. How about now?
Okay, now we can see it.
Great. Okay, thanks for the feedback. So what I've done is after I've done the video upload, which is right here, it's not finished processing yet. So I've just already uploaded another version to show you what it's going to look like when the YouTube video is done processing. So I've clicked on this video. And up here at the top, we've got subtitles and closed captioning as our option.
Right.
And this is what it'll show you after a few minutes of YouTube being able to automatically do this process. And this is exactly the file we need to somehow download and add to our e-learning. And we can take it right as it is, but because sometimes it doesn't do a good job of doing capitalizing and knowing when certain sentences start and stop, we can also edit this file. And the interface of YouTube is very user-friendly. As I click on where I need to edit, so does the video skip to that area. And I can easily change the timing of when these display, as well as things like adjusting the capitalization. After I'm done doing that to the whole video, because if I did that for a few minutes, it would take us longer than we have. I'm going to go back into the one that I've finished editing, and under actions, it says download. And I have the option of downloading 3 different kinds of subtitle files, essentially. It doesn't really matter which one you use unless your programs don't allow a certain one. In my case, what is the important thing to do is name the file the same as your video. Because if you do that, and it saves in the same location as the video, when we go back to the e-learning program, everything works super nicely together right away. So I've done downloading that video. I now go back to Storyline 360. And under my video options, I can add captions, and that's when we would do that ourselves. And just bypass YouTube, but we don't really want to do that with a video that's a couple minutes long when YouTube can do it for us automatically if we can just wait a few minutes. So we're going to import the Fruitcake Cookies subtitle file. And now that we've done that, when we go to preview this video again, because it's added a subtitle file, not only does the option to toggle it on and off exist, it automatically is there. So I don't have to worry about anything else. And that's how simple it is to add closed captioning to the videos. So now we're going to try it ourselves. But should be pretty straightforward. I understand some of you may have Storyline 360 downloaded, others may not, that's okay. If you can't follow along, I'll go slowly for those that can. For those on the call, Lan, were you able to download Storyline 360 and the video file?
Sorry, I got caught up on something today. I did not have.
That's okay. I didn't mean to call you out, but Joni, did you do that by chance? I'm just curious how to proceed with the instruction.
I did not, Dan.
Okay, no problem. So what we're going to do is make this super simple and straightforward. I need to find my Seriously Good Cookies video. So I'm going to insert my video from a file, and it's called Seriously Good Cookies. It's kind of an homage to the video I just had. So what happens is, after I drop it in and preview, same thing as before, I can play back the video, and there's audio, but there's no closed captioning. And if we did closed captioning using YouTube the automatic way, my dog's name is Sirius, and if they're Seriously Good Cookies, there's no way those 2 words are going to be spelled differently from a robot on YouTube. So we're going to do that ourselves, right? How we do that is we're going to go back to YouTube, and we're going to upload this video to get the closed captioning capabilities. So I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to choose the upload option. I'm going to select my video, Seriously Good Cookies. And it's a short video, so it's going to upload very quickly. Again, I'm going to change it to private just because I don't want this going public until it's ready. I don't have to worry about these settings, but again, just to make sure, I wanted to show you that you don't have to do anything there. This video is basically done. So after I go to the video manager, it should now already be available for me to edit, which it is. And under subtitles and closed captioning, you'll notice it hasn't had enough time to automatically add it. That's okay. I'm going to teach you guys how to do it using YouTube, following the same methods. So there's 3 ways to do subtitle. Well, you could upload it. That would be redundant because that's what we're trying to do right now. You could transcribe and auto sync. That option is, let's say you have all of the the script for your video, but none of it's in a nice, friendly voiceover subtitle way. You would use this option. But we're going to create them from scratch just from watching the video playback. And what we've got here is the video as well as the ability to play it and when the audio comes in. So all we have to do is play back the video. Those are some seriously good cookies, aren't they serious? This is the only time I let my dog eat baked goods. And what we're going to do is add in our transcription. So those are some seriously good cookies. And as I add it, it adds to the timeline. I can just drag and drop it where it needs to go and check to make sure that it's at the right timing. And I still have to add the rest. So let's see how I'm doing. Okay, so that's a little too long, but then I can write, aren't they serious? And as you can tell, because I have the ability to do this myself, I'm also accounting for the different spelling of that homonym serious. So now as I play the whole thing back, those are some seriously good cookies, aren't they serious? Perfect. Well, I don't want to be perfect, but it's pretty good. So now what we do is we save those changes. Here are the subtitle that we just created. And if we click on it, now we have the ability to download it, which is exactly what we're doing as before. And as you remember, hopefully, we want to name this file the same name as the video, which is Seriously Good Cookies. All right, if we go back to Storyline 360, we can import that file. So now when we play back it, those are some seriously good cookies, aren't they serious? It's there. So those are 2 different ways you can add subtitles to your videos. Storyline 360 is a pretty adapted solution where it is good for accessibility. So I do want to point out that you can use the program to edit them as well. Depending on which user interface you like, go for it. But for the longer ones, I like to let YouTube do it first and then deal with the consequences later. So anyway, now that we've run through those 2 examples, I'm just curious if anyone would like to share some ways that you intend to or currently use closed captioning in e-learning.
I definitely going to try that, Dan. You know, I have been trying doing caption myself, but I found it's very hard because I didn't know the YouTube have this automatic caption function. So I've been doing that myself, and I gave up after 5 minutes. And as you know, I'm like a language teacher. I always found this authentic materials I like to share with my students. And I like to add English subtitles or captions down there. It was just too much work for me. But now I'm gonna to try if my video language is Chinese, then I have not tried. I'm going to try to see whether YouTube is able to have the script down in Chinese.
Great. I want to show you something else that we kind of glossed over, but based on your scenario, one of the things in the info and settings is, depending on your material, you also have the ability to, in the advanced settings, allow viewers to contribute translated titles, descriptions, and subtitles / closed captioning. So if you're having issues doing it yourself, either for time reasons or for language barrier reasons, you can also allow others to contribute that. And over time, hopefully, power and numbers will filter it out to the appropriate subtitle file for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great. Okay, well, I'd love to hear more feedback. I would personally like to say that I like to use closed captioning every opportunity I get, because it doesn't take very long, and anytime you can quickly add something that greatly benefits the learner, I think it's time well spent. Thank you guys very much for attending. I'll make this presentation available to you guys, and appreciate the time that you've taken tonight to
Thank you,
tune in.
Daniel. I think your seminar, your webinar is very informative, and I appreciate you spending time and showing us this.
Thanks, Lan.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Dan. Thank
Okay.
you, Dan, very much.
Good job.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.